Isn't it?
That's right.
So all I'm trying to get across to you is that this is all fiction, which means you just have to get in your box of crayons and pull out a pretty color and draw a pretty picture. And you won't do it wrong as long as your picture is pretty. Now, how many people go around to an artist and say your picture is ugly? There are a few, but not too many. So you just make the picture pretty. It's all fiction. You have to deal in fiction. You can't deal in the flesh. So what I'm trying to get across to you here, the most important thing about these 90-91-28s is there's no flesh on any of it. There's no thumbprint. There's no upper and lowercase name. There's none of that stuff. It is all fiction. We don't mix fiction, reality with fiction. You keep fiction together with fiction. You keep real together with real. That's why you don't have diverse measures in your bag or in your home. The stuff that I'm sharing you with here, we cannot use this to go out and do things to people. You know, your neighbor pissed you off and I want to go out and do an administrative procedure and put him in his place. No, you can't do that. This is only for a corporation that's coming after you.
So you're also not affixing the notary jurat on the front of the 90-91?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You are?
Yeah, it's fiction.
Okay.
The notary's fiction.
I just want to know if you're...
You can't put anything on those forms. You have to have an attached.
Well, actually, the notary can stamp where it
front
says stamp. The notary
Seal.
can do that.
In California, they can't.
Not in California.
Yes.
In Arizona,
Yes. No. Just find a notary that'll do it.
yeah.
No, you
Well,
notary
since 2008,
yourself in
I've run into a
trouble.
lot of them that say the law changed, they can't do it, they have to have their wording.
They do it and then they add the sheet.
Yeah.
Correct. The all-purpose acknowledgement that goes on the back.
Yeah.
Certificate.
We got
Yeah.
we got it.
Yeah.
Individual
Whichever way you get it,
acknowledgement, yeah.
right? Whichever way you get it acknowledged is all that matters.
Yeah.
Right. It's just got to be. It's got to be an affidavit. That's the point.
So what you're saying is on these forms, it's all uppercase, the whole thing. There's no
Exactly the way it is on the
and
deed
there's
of trust.
And there's no thumbprint.
That's right. And there's no home. There's no home.
Description.
No property description?
No, actually, we leave the property description open because it's open. The way you'll see when we fill these out, if it's left open, then they're able to fill in the legal description of the house and give you the house back. Yes.
Okay.
On the forms where it says, whereas I thought we learned that we should put our upper and lowercase name in there.
Well,
Where it says I, not whereas, but whereas I.
I disagree for a couple of different reasons.
Okay.
Number one, because first of all, everything they're doing is fiction. It's all false averment, so it doesn't have anything to do with us. Secondly, I is a personal pronoun.
Yeah.
I is a person.
I, my, me.
Is a person. In the law.
Okay. I know
No,
person.
not person is fiction.
Person is fiction.
Yeah, I know. I
It's
knew
a personal
person.
pronoun. Personal
But I didn't know
pronoun.
I was.
Yes, it's a personal pronoun.
But I mean, I didn't
Person.
know it. Well, it could be either way then. Fiction
When you
or
and I are
non-fiction.
talking to each other, yes, it can be either way.
Okay, so anything
But when you're
relating.
dealing with a fictional system, it's only fictional.
Okay.
That's why the UCC ones are not working for people, because you say, I, the flesh and blood, am the creditor, and I've got to lean against the fiction. Well, no, you don't, because it's all fiction. If debtor is a fiction, what makes creditor not a fiction? It's all fiction. So what I see as the remedy on the UCC1 issue and any other issue like that is, once again, the powers of the people. Each and every one in this room should have a UCC1 on me, and I should have a UCC1 on everybody in this room, and it's all reciprocal. And that way, when they grab Tom and say, you know, you did this or you did that, and then all of us can walk in and say, no, this is our property, we're going to take our property with us.
We have a priority security
We have a
interest.
priority security interest in him. He owes us a debt, and as a matter of fact, we even brought our own handcuffs with us
Yeah.
because we don't want him to escape.
And they have to release you.
They have to.
They have to.
He's our property
Let's go get our one.
because
What about
voluntary servitude is
husband and wife
perfect.
cross-filing each other?
Well, the issue with that and the problem with that is, and if you're from California, you'll see there's a recent court case in Fresno where an attorney was going right back at the man for trying to stand up and be a sovereign. And he pointed out that marriage is a creature of the state, and when you applied for the marriage license, you waived all those rights.
You waive sovereignty.
You waived sovereignty.
You have to reclaim the marriage. So you file
Marriage is a creature of the state.
Yeah.
Why would you reclaim anything?
You have to
It's
revocation.
not yours,
You have
it's
to
the
revoke
state's.
the power of
Revoke your
attorney.
signature.
Revoke a
And
global
rescind your-
recall or
or
global
rescind your-
rescission on the
Right.
autograph.
Oh, great.
Or
And then
termination
Well,
of
yeah, I
agency,
don't
or
know if
even
you get around, but
termination.
So then you can do a cross.
We can pass that.
Yeah, do you want to,
Yes, give us
who all
a-
here has been to school?
Long time.
Joe's on.
So you know what it means when I say take one and pass it back.
Yeah.
Well,
You go, boy.
pass it in a snake, okay?
Yeah, right.
Yes, there are 3 different ones.
Now, is that out of the 4th or the 8th?
no, this is the.
No, this last.
Come on. let's
This
see it.
one is 2 pages. It's the instructions and the affidavit of individual surety, so be sure to get both pages. And we can start with you.
Hey Jerry, can you just repeat, I couldn't hear you back here, on regarding if you're married, what'd you say about how do you revoke?
one at a time?
Marriage is a creature of the state.
So how do you set yourself up away from that, or properly, if you're, what I hear you saying?
Well, because if you look at the law, the Bible tells us that holy matrimony is what we're entering into, and it's when a man leaves his wife, or his father, mother, and a woman leaves hers to become one. And it's between the man, the woman, and God, not doesn't have anything to do with the state. When you go to the state and say, you know, we're going to be married under the power of the state, you're saying that the state is the God, aren't you?
Is it wise to correct that? We would be wise to correct that.
Right.
I think so.
And how would you do that?
By rescinding
Revocation.
your name off the agreement.
I send a power of attorney to the state.
What you might want to consider doing in a marriage situation is rescind the signatures on the marriage certificate, then do a coverture or a ketubah, which is a Hebrew ceremony,
Right.
and it stands.
You do a matrimonial ceremony.
Yeah.
And actually, a matrimonial ceremony, if you go back into the original, into the Torah, a matrimonial ceremony is simply the man and the woman come together. They're married. It's done. So, I mean, just because they're together, there's no marriage.
Could you just get a divorce?
Yeah, that's a divorce.
Well,
No,
started
because
a
it's
Chinese
still,
marriage.
license still stands.
And
No,
your
because then
children
they're
are
going to want to be
still
involved in divvying up the
subsidiary
assets.
product of the state.
So
Yeah,
we
if
went
that's the route you understand, I just wouldn't do that because the state's going to be involved in that. That's
No, I
all
mean,
I'm
there's
saying.
90 days.
That's cool.
We declared no
Isn't it
assets.
just 28?
Well, there you go.
21?
You were smart enough to do it. I did. But not enough people are.
So then, we're, they're trying to call her divorce. Testify to so we use only matrimony, she's not allowed to testify.
Well, you can use that, or you can use a non-disclosure agreement too.
I'll get them at the end.
You can, don't you?
Yeah, sure we do, yeah.
Well, sure do, don't you? And how much do I have to pay your wife in order for her to answer private questions?
I don't think you can afford it, but yeah.
But there's a figure, isn't there?
Yeah, it's $10 billion.
The gold?
Yes.
Yeah, too rich for me.
Except the point is, if you're married under a license in the state, your children are a product of the state.
So we got rid of the one.
Very good.
There you go. Thank you.
I have a child care center. You'd be surprised how many parents go into shock when you try to share with them. Are you really sure you want to go that way?
Right, I know. They don't get it.
Well, they do. There's been a number of them that have.
No, I mean beforehand. They don't get it
They
beforehand.
They don't realize it.
Yes.
We don't have enough, I don't think.
They're still getting passed.
They're still getting sent back.
One of the things that was so important for the Child Protective Services in Texas to seize those children was trying to get a claim on them.
Yep.
But they couldn't get a claim on them because not one of them had a birth certificate. They were all entered into their family Bibles.
Actually, I think the way they characterized that was questionable parenting.
Yes, questionable parentage.
Right,
and you look up the word parent parenthesis in Black's Law Dictionary, you'll find out that you're just given the authorization just to go ahead and raise the children. You have no authority over them whatsoever.
Right.